What's happening, everyone? Welcome to Thursday night's Airbrush Down and Dirty Tricks. I think we got some good audio, we got some good video. And who we got in the house? We got Brian Moore, we got Raymond Shea, we got Avis Mendez, Darren Plank, Chris Garcia. What's going on, everyone? Todd. Cool. All right, how's everyone doing tonight? Hope everyone's having a good night. If we have any sound or video issues, let me know. But everything looks good on my end. Oh, yeah. Let's see what we got going on. Let's get down and dirty. Absolutely. All right. So I hope some of you guys watched the uploaded video earlier. If you haven't yet, it's up. It's the whole process of how I did this hood. This is the mini hood that we got from SprayGunner. SprayGunner sent me a couple of these. Thank you, Artem, for sending those up. Really appreciate it. And yeah, he sent these up, and these are really cool. So, and I found a really cool way to mount this to the Visionaire stand because it's steel. And these hoods are steel. They're not aluminum, which is really good, and they're painted. They're not E-coated. So if you watch the video, I do a full prep. And the video I did earlier, it's 42 minutes. It goes from full prep to getting it ready to this point. So it goes through all the steps of how to mirror the design and flip it. So design one side, make a pattern, flip it over the other side. It talks about prep and sanding, adhesion, goes through everything, tips and tricks on that. Shows different various layouts and things like that. Cool thing about the steel hood is these neodymium magnets, these square ones especially, are just the right size when you double them up like this to go on this and go. Yeah, it just sits perfect. Actually, you gotta pull it to get it off, which is good. So, I'm really digging that ability. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put these here on the sides, down the bottom. Now, whoops, man, these are strong. So now it's not going anywhere, super strong. Let me make sure we're in a central view here. Yeah, that's good. Okay, let me clean my hands. One thing about tape out, and I discuss it in the thing, is definitely you got to keep your hands clean and dry. Because see these oils? You don't want to leave that stuff behind, okay? So, I'm just going to use Spray Away Glass Cleaner. For an actual wax and grease remover, I prefer House of Colors KC10 over pretty much anything else I've used. Their solvent one's amazing, and their water-based one's amazing. And what I usually do, too, is I usually wipe my hands down to make sure I get anything off. But what's really important, one thing you'll notice with a lot of solvent wax and grease removers is it doesn't get rid of all the hand oils too well. So water-based wax and grease remover works really good. So the KC20 from House of Color does a really, really good job. Yeah, so we've done a bunch of tests over the years. All right, who we got in the house here? I need my phone. Because I can't, with this new, teleprompter, I use my iPad that I used to watch the stream on for just the comments so I can see everything. And I have an old iPad I'm trying to watch the stream, but it's really laggy because it's really old. It won't even run the newer version of YouTube. So I have to run it through a browser, and it's really, really off. Or it's really delayed. So I'm just going to turn on the feed on my phone so I can just monitor it. And see how it's doing. Let's see how it's doing. There we go. Cool. Let's try I can see stats and stuff. Awesome. Cool. All right. Gary, what's happening? Bill Douglas, welcome. London Pen. We got all the crew in here, all the usual suspects. Thank you for coming. And you guys check out the prep video yet in the layout? I've had quite a few watchers already, which is good. Man, editing a video takes so long. It's amazing because I'll do these 2-hour live feeds, and yeah, they take a few hours to set up, and then but I do the feed, basically one take, and we get it all done and ready, and it's great and kind of done. And if I want to go back in and edit, I can. But to do the hood layout one, I did it multiple takes and had to change the angles and doing stuff because with this switcher, I don't get all the angles recorded at the same time, so I have to switch it manually because I only get one recording. I know, poor me, but I had a bunch of video, and there's a lot of dead space and stuff like that doesn't pertain. So it's like an hour and 40 minutes of content, and I got it down to like 42-minute video. It was like 4 hours to edit it. So it's been a long day. I started editing that around 11:30. Got that done around 4. Uploaded that by, I think it was 5:30 it went up. By the time it uploaded, went through its checks. Ate some dinner, come up here, and set up the feed for this. So it's a long day. It'd be almost a 12-hour day for all this video stuff. So I know you guys appreciate it, so thank you very much. Oh, Brian, good. I'm glad you learned a lot. And I got to start doing more of that stuff. I got to start doing content. It's just finding the time. And I'm not paid to do it. You know what I mean? I'll get some materials and some sponsorship stuff, like given to me to do a video or a review and stuff like that. And that's great. And it's real supportive. But it's the hours that go into it. So the super chats and the buying of the panels and all that stuff that goes in really helps these things go a long way. So yeah, oh, and while I'm thanking everyone, we got some more members. Approaching 70. We got 67 members now, consistently each month, which is awesome. So thank you very much, guys, and all my gold skulls who've been here a consistent year. It's a huge majority of you guys. Thank you very much. And the next on the line, which would be the red skulls, are it's only a couple on the bottom that are new. So I'm glad everyone, majority of people stick around. And yeah. So the crowns is a new thing. From what I gather. Thank you, Todd. Much appreciated. Thank you, Brian. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Like I said, it makes everything go around because at the end of the month when YouTube pays out, and the watch minutes, and I don't have 1 million followers, 100,000 followers, so the revenue that comes in from YouTube is pennies. So this is what really makes a difference, and it's direct to the community. So and it goes back into this. It goes back into covering the time for this. So I really, really do appreciate it. So the crowns. So what the crowns are? It's a new thing. It basically is who's the most consistent or the top poster on the feed. I think that's what it is. I don't know, but that's what I heard it was, so I'm going to go with that. So I did not make a paint list for tonight. I don't need a reference image because there's no reference image, so I don't have any of that stuff to do. Yeah. Oh, for those new, there's all the social media. So if you're trying to find out when I'm doing posts and stuff like that, I do keep it up to date on Facebook and Instagram really well. So that's often done. Twitch, I don't use at all, and I really got to start doing that. But that's going to be more for gaming stuff and more for the tabletop. And TikTok, I don't bother with. And Threads and whatever all the other ones are, True Social, I don't use any. It's too many. Try to keep it all here. So, I wish I did a small little video. I just didn't have time to edit, so I could kind of do a quick run through of how I did the prep and everything else. But I will give it a good stern talking to. All right. So what I did for this layout. So what I did for the layout here was basically. I did, in the video you watch that time, I prepped the hood, sanded it down, 600 grit. That's what I do with anything that's painted. Gas tank, motorcycle tank, hood of a car, anything hard surface. 600 grit gives me a good tooth for the paint to adhere. Then what I do is, in this case, I typically use 1/8 inch fine line, and my favorite's the blue fine line, so that's typically what I use. So I'll do most of my work in an 1/8 inch. And actually, while I'm, I can do this actually. We'll just do a quickie demo here before I get to painting. I'll use, the blue fine line, which blue is the pretty much good all around. Nice curve, really stable, doesn't slide around, doesn't leave glue residue. So the blue is my favorite. That was a really funky flame, but lobster claw. But the blue is my favorite. I typically use 1/8 on cars and motorcycles and things like that. And I use 16th for smaller details or stripes. On a hood this small, I'm not going to use the 1/8. I'm going to use, this is all laid out in 16th. Okay, so basically, to give you a short version, what I did was I found the center of the hood. I basically did a design like this and came around, and I do one side. Basically did that. Another kind of line like this. And then basically, just like this. And I kind of do a design. And how the tape, for those who really don't know, how the tape bends. I'll talk about that in a sec. And then I kind of came down like this, and I went here, and I did that basically. That's basically the design. And this is really important. Use an X-Acto knife or a straight blade. I actually prefer straight blades. I just don't have any up here. When you cut your crossovers, you don't have to cut, you don't have to do a cut because you're going to cut through your tape and you might hit your surface. All you really got to do is take the blade, put it down over it in the middle, and just pull the tape up into it. Much cleaner. Like here, same thing. Boom. For crossovers like this, what you want to do is you don't want to cut and cut. You do have to cut one. So whatever design is on, whatever piece of tape is on top, this one here, a light cut, just follow it along there. Just follow it like that. Pop it up. And then for this one, again, I just pull the tape up into the blade. And you'll get a nice cut. And then what we'll do is we use paper and a piece of chalk. And this was for the hood. And basically you put the paper on and you do a rubbing. Then we use a pounce wheel. I think this is a 24 tooth spur. I forget who answered it on the video already, but thank you for that. They come multiple sizes, and you run it on a soft pad or a cutting mat, and that'll put little perforations. And the cool thing about the perforations is when you flip it over like this, you can see the design. Using a pounce pad, which is just the carpenter's chalk basically, or graphite powder, you just pat some on, move it, put it down, and you can see the design. You take the excess off, and now you have, this is the short version. Now you have a guide to go by, for that hood design. And if you're really quick, and what I typically do is I tape to one side of the powder, so the powder's not fully under the tape. Okay, so basically, that's how you lay the design out. And then I go through a back basket and do that. And, but we play with the tape a lot. And the one trick I talk about in the video, and then we'll get down to it. We'll get down to business. Where's the 1/8? I'd rather the 1/8, but I don't think I have it. I had it. Must have fallen on the floor. Oh, here we go. So when you're using tape, let me switch up camera angles here so you can see it. The way you want to hold your tape, I hold it between my fingers like this, so I can still control with these. It's like a pinch, but I don't grip it. It's just rough, just sits in your hand. That way you can switch back and forth, because you got to switch back and forth a lot when you're doing the design. And what you want to do is you want to pull it taut, not tight. You don't want to stretch it like this because it'll stretch. But if you stretch after about an hour of this being in the sun or hot shop, it's going to shrink up on you. Tape does have a little bit of a memory, so if you overstretch it. So all you want to do is you want to pull off enough, like, you basically, it's like a pendulum. Okay, it's going to swing. And you just want it taut. You just want it to spring. See how it goes, boom, when it springs? That's it. And you put your thumb or your finger, whatever you want. This is where you're pushing the tape down. That's what you're pivoting on. That's the pivot point. I'm not sure if that would be the fulcrum. Or, you know, it would just be the pivot point. Okay? So what you're going to do is, if you're going to go straight, what I do is I pull it straight, and you hold it, and then you go down and work it straight. If you're going to turn, you move the tape roll like this, and this is where you're turning. So you're watching just in front of it, and you're going to start pivoting the tape. That's why you're using this hand. And you're going to pivot here, and you're going to keep that tension, and you're going to get a nice smooth arc. You're going to go again, smooth arc. And I'm going to switch around like this, and go like this, and now you can just pop it and snap it. And tape's repositionable. I can take it, it's going to ripple and come up, and I can just work it the other way. And then same thing, I do my crossover. And for flames, same thing. I just keep that tension right there. It's something you get a feel for the more you do it and you practice. So I definitely recommend messing around with it. All right, so that, but if you want a more concise one, watch the video. The description is in the info. The link is in the description. If you're interested in one of these hoods are great. They come in, I have a white one and a silver one that he sent me. That SprayGunner sent me. And the silver's a nice fine metallic. The white's a nice pure clean white. And I think they come in black. And they have bigger ones coming up. Astro there, I just put my airbrush down. Oh, 1:17 a.m. I feel you, brother. All right, so I mixed up some colors tonight. I figure we'll do some little freehand skull work, some pattern work. Just keep it simple and fun. And go from there. We'll talk about different things you can put in. You could do, maybe we'll do, you could do like a simple fan. But I just don't have a big area. Maybe I'll do a fan pattern here. Or we'll just do some different effects, and I'll kind of walk you through it. So I'm thinking for in here, in the center, I'm thinking just have some fun with a couple skulls, just to fill up space. You could do like just quick pattern work. You could do lace work. You could take lace like this. And this, I don't spray it on there, so there's a lot. I spray a little Super 77 spray adhesive on there, but you don't want a lot on there because you don't want to leave residue. So I make sure it dries for quite a while and just put a little mist. Because if you want to do lace, you could just put that down and we could spray right through it and have a cool lace pattern. It's really easy. You could different laces. There's all sorts of things you could do. It's been done a lot. I have another video on all that work, so I'm not going to bother to do that. You could do fishnet. Fishnet's cool. This is a fishnet mask stencil I made just by using a quilting loop, the quilter's loop, and some fishnet material, and it's cool because you can pull it and get different patterns through it. So if you're doing snakes, you can get a lot from it. So these are really, really cool to mess around with. And then you can do everything else. So let's do something. I want to add a little bit more tape. So I'm going to show you a couple tricks here. I want to do a 1/4 inch. I want to do this whole thing, but I want to have another piece of tape, small inside. And I want to make it a 1/4 inch away from that tape edge, and then we'll go to a 1/16. Working salvage, auto parts, all kinds of sheet metal practice on. I should only practice more. Yeah, you should. Yeah, the quilter's loop works great because you can get all different sizes and different rings. I have a whole ton of them. All right, so I'm going to have another 16th inch line that's a quarter from this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use other tape to measure. So look, I'm going to run this tape down like this. And right here, we're going to start turning, putting pressure. Okay. Pull back up, make sure I'm on the money. Yep, there we go. Next side, pressure. So the colors I got mixed up. I got like a Caribbean blue. I got a dark like cobalt blue. I got a deep purple, an emerald green, and a magenta. And then a black for a drop shadow color. So I'm going to figure out what color to do things in. Just tension, tension, tension. A nice trick here too, which is nice with the FBS because they have so many different colors. You can use a different color against it. It's easier to see. But their colors don't just mean colors. Their colors are rigidity. So the blue is not as... The red is the most flexible. Then the blue, and then it goes green and orange. Okay, different rigidities. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 16th now. I'm going to use the red. Now the red is super... You really don't want to stretch this stuff. You almost draw with it. You're not even pulling on it. Just super taut. Just the littlest tension's all you need, especially at the crossover. Because you pull it, it's going to want to slack back a little bit. I can talk about ways to kind of heal that, but not right now. Is this Mr. Mendez? Hello, Gerald. Okay, so yeah, so now when you do this, it's right against the blue tape. What I do is I kind of wiggle it so you can see the silver through it if you look really close, and I just kind of move it so it just about disappears. That way you know you're on it. Like I said, crossovers, not a lot of tension. Push it down. Then I can take my knife. Again, I can do that single cut right there. Boom. And pull that. Now I can pull this one right up to it so I don't cut onto the metal. And just pull the tape. And now you can take these off. And I got a nice, perfect 1/4 inch gap to 16th. Okay, by using the tape to measure. Then I'm also thinking of doing one more just to make it interesting in here. And one other thing, I want to say they're the only one that makes it. This is, I think it's 0.30. So basically, I don't know if it's like 2/32. No, because that would be a 16th. So it's like it's right like a 32nd inch, but it's a little bit smaller. This stuff is super tiny. It actually looks bigger on camera than it is, but it's super tiny. Let's add another one in here. I'm just going to freehand this to about here. And then I'm just going to follow it down and give it basically another design. And I'm going to do one more. So that way inside this pattern is going to be more stuff going on. So now the question is, I got to duplicate it. Now, if you're not going to make a pattern, I just got to get it lined up, and I should be able to match it pretty close. So I'm just going to use a piece of tape. I'm going to mark my point. That's where I want to hit. Okay. And then I'm going to mark it again like this, and that's where I want to hit. Now, I can get it close enough. Gerald has the coolest studio in the industry, and I've yet to see it in person. One of these days, Gerald, one of these days. So I'm starting to turn about here. No, needs to be a little. I think that works. Do one more time. Come out, go here. Get a little wider. There we go. I think we'll call that cool. Just take these extras off. And now you have this cool, little bit more of a lowrider style. And just a lot more stuff going on, which just makes it fun. Because what you could do, I could do this all one tone, or I could back tape and tape this and have this color to this color match. Maybe I'll do that. Yeah, you can eyeball it for the most part. Hello from the campground. Happy camping. Hope you got a good campfire going. So what I'm going to do is, yeah, I'm going to tape this off like this and just stack it. All right, what color should go in here? Bright blue, like Caribbean blue, dark blue, emerald green, magenta, or purple. What should go in there? Just throw some extra tape down like that. Oops. Dark blue. Okay. Pork steaks on the grill. Awesome. Okay. Dark blue fade. Or should I put a texture in there? Or texture with a fade. So this is, kind of the fast way. Is just stacking tape. You use a lot of tape this way, but it is a little faster. Blue is one of my favorites. What color skull's good? I haven't decided. They might be a blue. Well, they might be a blue and purple. So, dark blue. Both. All right, let's do... What kind of texture are we going to do? Do you want a Gerald's textures? It's Gerald's here. Oh, here we go, here we go. Whoop, 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 whoop. My Modelo almost went down. That would have been alcohol abuse. Cheers. All right, dark blue. Let me get my... Where did I put the lid? Ah, here we go. Dropped it. All right, let me get my color here so you can see. There we go, dark blue. This is dark blue candy 2.0. All right, so what I'm thinking, do Gerald's texture, and it's got a kind of a spiral to it. I'm going to have the spiral kind of go in the shape. Just going to hold it down. Look at that. See if we can kind of zoom in a little bit more. It's got a cool little pattern here. And just keep rolling it up. Keep rolling it up. If you're going to flip it, make sure you dry it. Same thing on the side. Cool little texture. Then what we'll do, watch this, I'm going to go do a dark blue fade on the top. I don't know if I can angle that a little better. Now this is candy over metallic, so you're going to get a nice, when it's cleared, it's going to have a nice flicker to it. Kind of hard to see here. Let's see if I can get it to show at the end. So why don't we do this? And then, how about this? Let's do a little kiss of the dark purple. And we'll go, the bottom will have a purple fade up to the blue. Just watch what I'm going to do now. So now I can take this tape off, and I'm leaving the 16th behind, okay? I'm leaving the 16th behind. And if you don't want to get anything on this, you have to tape it back up, but I'm going to utilize it. So watch. You can do up here one color, down here another color, however you want to do it. All right, so now I'm going to take just the purple. Oh, no. Let's do this. Let's go. Let's add magenta, sunset magenta to the purple. Intermix. Just let it happen. So now in here, let's find a curve that works good like this. And we're going to go like that. That. Like that. I'm going to flip it and kind of do the same thing. And now look, I can come up the sides like here. And come, oops, I'm going to do another one here. Like that. And just get some fun happening. Just keep adding layers. And now I'm going to tone these out. Try to balance them off. Now notice I'm spraying on the tape here, more so. And the nice thing about the, because I'm using a CS here, the CS's, or I'd use a TH1 or 2, that gives you a super smooth atomization of the candy and keep the paint kind of a good coverage. If you go to a micron, you'd have to thin the candy a little bit more, which means more lighter coats, but you'll also get a super smooth atomization. But on a larger car, you'd be using something like this. Okay. So it all kind of ends up being a little bit more purple instead of the dark blue. because I'm overdoing it with magenta, but I think it works. And now what you do is now I'm going to take the 16th off. I mean that 32nd inch tape. We take those off. Then you're going to get super clean lines with these. So now you have a nice 16th inch pinstripe on the inside edge of pure silver, which keeps it nice and clean. As you can see, yeah, this camera could go a little brighter. There we go, that's better. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop shadow right on this edge, so the 16th, when the 32nd hits the 16th, it's got a little bit of drop shadow. So all I'm going to do for that is I'm going to go back to the deep purple candy. This is all Createx Candy 2.0. That's all I'm using here. Now I'm going to drop shadow right along this edge. And I put the majority of the paint on the tape and let the overspray get over, okay? The overspray get over. Roger, roger. But by doing that, you're using the tape to get most of your wet paint in the center, like the center spot. So if this is the edge of the tape right here, you're putting most of the paint on this side, the overspray is catching over here, so you get a nice soft spray. Do it again. And while I'm doing that, what color should we do the skulls, people? I'm thinking of doing them in blue. So I'll use the light blue to dark blue. And if I want, I could go back in. You could do a little hit there, and they'll kind of look more like louvers. Yeah, the likes, here's the thing about likes. So I definitely like and share and everything else. The likes don't really populate and show accurately during the feed. They tend to lag behind a little bit. Or sometimes they don't even show up till after. Because I've been on feeds where they said like there's none. And then as soon as the feed's off and it calculates, there's, 20, 30. But I appreciate you looking out. Okay. Cool. So let's see if I could get a kind of better show. So now you can kind of see all the different colors that are showing up here. And I think what I'm going to do, and I think it's kind of messing me up a little bit, is I'm going to change the background lights behind the easel. Get my Phillips light to make that nice and easy. Yeah. There we go. That looks better. Switch off the lights. Yeah, that looks a little nicer. Okay, so what do we think? What do we think for the skulls, people? Let's just do a couple in there. Have some fun with it. We don't have to do any skulls. We could just do pattern work, but always nice to have some images. What good would a lowrider job be without patterns, lace, and a mural inside the center or something? Now, I don't have time for the pinup stuff, but this whole process that I'm doing is the exact process that I did for this. This was at SEMA last year. Same process, same colors. So everything I'm doing on this panel tonight is exactly how I did this. So everything I'm doing now could be done. up. And same thing, if you're interested in getting crazier, same thing for this big boy here, which is all flake. This one's really cool. This was SEMA the year before, I think it was, yeah. So, yeah. These are both available if anyone's interested. Oh yeah, the koi was 2023, the female was 2024. Oh my god, I'm struggling to mix a vibrant teal. Now the Tealicious is really nice. My best way of doing teal is I'll use, yeah, watch this. I'm going to try to make it for you right now. Okay. So if you want to mix it, you can mix it. A lot of times I'll use, if you don't have a teal, you can make your own with other candies. So I have the Caribbean Blue. So you see Caribbean Blue is a really nice color by itself. See that? But if you add a little emerald green to it, or a little yellow and lime green, you should get a nice teal. Let's see. This is water-based. And there's a nice teal. So that was just the emerald green and the Caribbean Blue. Let me see if I can show it to you on this angle. Yep. And that's how you get teal. The Tealicious from Createx is pretty good too. Yeah, poison green and a bit of emerald, you can mess with it. But if you don't have the Tealicious, if you have Caribbean Blue, you can do Caribbean Blue with some poison green or yellow and an emerald green. You can mess around with that family and get it perfectly. You know, where I came from the t-shirt background, we learned to make a lot of colors on the fly. Because we didn't have the 30 color rack. Yeah, a cool yellow. Mr. Powers, what's happening? I almost mixed up Tealicious tonight, but it didn't. Alright, let's just do a couple fun skulls inside here. Alright, I'm going to do a black skull. Here you go. That'll work. Yeah, I learned to mix all my colors for PPG toners back when. Yeah, I was all House of Color for automotive for candies, but we had been back in the day. It was all either Aquaflow or Createx or Deca. I started with Deca fabric paint back in the 80s. And we only had we had our basic color rack. We had 12, 13 colors on the Airbrush rack, and you learned them. And we didn't mix them in the bottles. We mixed it on the shirt. So if we wanted a bright green, you know, we had a like a transparent pure green and a fluorescent yellow. So I wanted a fluorescent green. I put yellow first and then toned over it with the green to make a lime green because we didn't have it. So you mixed it as on the fly. Skin tone, same thing. You slowly put browns in lightly until you toned up as a limited color palette. But by having a limited palette like that, you learn a lot. So you don't have to go and buy 50 colors to do everything. You need, a good set of primaries. Your magenta, your cyan, your light blues, dark blue, green and yellow. You need the basics: a brown, a light brown, black and white. Once you have that, you can make anything. Because even if you buy the opaques only, you can have a medium, like a 4004 or transparent base, solvent, and then you can turn the opaque into a semi-transparent. So there's all sorts of ways to do it. So you don't need to have 100 color rack like most of us have. You don't need it. Sometimes when you're starting out, it makes it more confusing for you. So yeah, that's my preach. Kind of go back. Yeah, understanding the color wheel is kind of key. All right. Get my chair further up. Here we go. All right, skulls. Pack O skulls. Let's do some skulls. This is nice and dry. So if you're worried about overspray, this is a good time to put a little tape over in Mac Mask. I'm not really too worried about it because I got enough distance. So I'm not going to worry. So the other thing they sent me was some good magnets. SprayGunner sent me these. And these hoods, I think Gerald can attest. Gerald's done a number of them. These are really super nice. Super hard metal, super durable, super thick. Highly recommend them. The link is in the description if you want to grab a couple. And like I said, they're painted, not coated, so that makes it even nicer. So you can study color theory, but don't spend all this time. Keep it simple. Start with a few colors, basic color wheel. Start to overlay colors and just get a good sense. Okay? A big mistake a lot of people made, and I made when I was younger, is I bought too many color theory books and listened to too many people. And there's a key word in that title, theory. It's a color theory. It's not color definite, not color absolute. But every book and every artist who gets into one talks like it's an absolute. They all have the different palettes, so you can go different ways, lights, darks, different colors. Find one that kind of speaks to you and work from there. But keep it simple. Okay. I think one of the best ones that was recommended to me by Steve Gibson. Oh, I got to remember, I don't have to talk loud when I walk away because I have a lapel mic now. I'm going to see if I can find this because Steve Gibson is probably one of the best at doing freehand color, and he just gets it. Let's see if I can find it. Might not be able to find it that easy. Yeah, not as easy as I thought. Thought it was going to be right out here in the open. Nope. Darn it. Anyway, sorry. It's got like a bird thing on the cover. Really good color theory with lighting. I'll see if I can find it later. But yeah, just get the basics down. Okay, skulls. All right, which skull do we use first? Do we use Say What? Say Ah from the pack of skulls. Oh, I always love this one. I forget the title. Off the top of my head. I think that was Look Up. Say What? Head Down. Side Look. Oh, you know what we could do? That's why magnets are great. I got an idea. We'll go one there. And lucky for me, I have multiples of everything because they're mine and I'm spoiled. Maybe we'll do this. I'll keep it. Yeah. How about that? Like that. Keep those two there. Right. Try to keep it lined up. All right, then maybe we do this guy. I have a couple of him, I think. They can be different, right? Oh yeah, no, I got two. I want this. Yeah, that works, huh? And then we'll put this guy right in the middle. How about that? And just try to even out. So see, the nice thing about steel with magnets, you can just put everything in play and we can start our layout. Easy peasy. Nice, we like. All right, so you don't want to go crazy, okay? Because I don't want to have this eye inside that skull there. So if you want, this is where you can use like a template if you got to keep it shielded. I'm just gonna kiss over it there, kiss over it here, come up on the head. I'm not spraying a ton inside there. You see, just a little. Try the. Yeah, I could go out, but I don't have enough room in this. Yeah, that could be cool. Okay, so I'm going here. I'm going to get a little heavier on this. You know, I'm going to do double airbrushes. I'm going to do one with a dark blue so I can shadow stuff. I do like that idea, Dan, a lot more, actually. If I had more time to kind of figure it out, because I do like the idea of them going out. So I got my light blue and dark blue. Brian, in 30 years, you'll have them done in 5 minutes, too. Yeah, it's there's 5 skulls and you have them done in 30 minutes. Yeah, but I've been doing it 35 years, man. And I designed these skulls, so I know these inside out of my hat, and I can do skulls in my sleep. So I'm going to hit my dark blue kind of under shadow right now while we start the stencil on here. Because watch what I'm going to do. I'm not going to go inside. I'm really just trying to come out here in the darker areas. Okay, so now what I can do is I can take him off and make sure, because he shifted. Damn it. There we go. Boop, moving back. Let's put a second one on him. Okay, so now, see what I did? I made sure I didn't have that skull go in the eye. Absolutely, sir. And I respect that suggestion a lot. And now I wish I did it. But okay, so now I can go kind of heavy here. I can go heavy here. And I'm going to make sure I don't get any overspray here. So I can actually do them all right now. Just keep it light. So Brian, don't get upset. When we used to work at the malls doing T-shirts and stuff, we had I could do the Tasmanian Devil in 3 minutes in full color, maybe 3.5 if I was to 4 if I was feeling lazy. Or you do the Grinch in under 2 minutes in full color because you just got really good at repetition. But it trained your freehand ability. Just tap it in. Tappity tap tap. What was that from? Oh my god. Because I've said it before. Okay, so now I'm doing my shadow. And look, if you're not good at freehanding all the detail, just get good at shading and stacking. Because for a candy job, if you gotta like do this, you could do this in like a black on a coarse metallic, and then you could candy wash over the whole thing and have it be like super ghosted. It'd be great. Oh man, t-shirts, yeah. T-shirts, just getting that freehand down and speed down and the confidence, man. I think a lot of it is you just get confidence for just being able to work on the fly and do it. And because I really believe this is true, because a t-shirt is only like $3, because a t-shirt's only $3, if you mess it up, who cares? Do more, just fill the shirt with junk, just as long as you do freehand control, and you practice daggers and blends and fades, and throw it out. Pick up another one, do it again. Pick up another one, do it again. You're not using a $20 canvas, a $40 piece of metal, a $20 hood, and a piece of metal that you had to prep, wet sand, all that stuff. You're trying to be perfect and you're stressed. T-shirts, man, who cares? Just paint something, freehand it, and just go. That's, it's absolutely the best way. I got to do it. You guys want me to do a T-shirt night? Or just paint some T-shirts? Maybe I'll take ideas and bids or like ahead of time from members, and we'll just see which ones I do, and we'll just sell them as I go. You a big pimpin' now? It's awesome. Okay, so now we're good here. So I'm going to go dark here. Here's some creating the shadows. And everything. That's not quite even. It's bugging me, but well, my older brother could never do this because he's way too OCD. Okay, cool. So I think that's good. Oh, you know what I'm going to do before I remove it? No. White cheap, but t-shirts, man, are so cheap. And if you don't even want to spend money on t-shirts, get paper towels. Okay, there we go. See how he just added that shadow and just popped it more? So now watch. We're going to go here. Here. I love these long magnets. I never actually had these. So see? Right there. We're good. And look, even if you're not good at freehand, I didn't use any freehand yet. If you deliver nice, even blend fades like this, and then with a candy over it, or even just leave it, put a little pearl overlay, not majority, but a good amount of customers would be satisfied with this for not spending a lot of money, especially when you're starting out. Okay? Because look, I don't know how long that was we're talking, but that's a nice, simple design that you could get away with. And the more you paint, you can just add detail to it. Okay? So look, I'm going to take this light color now and go up the whole thing. Blend it out. Show you the flip side of it. And it just looks cool. Oh yeah, yeah. But the nice thing about like $2 t-shirts, or even, you can just get packages of like undershirts, is the t-shirt fabric's really good. It holds the paint really well. But you get good enough at it, you can sell them for $5 a piece, $10 a piece. And just get good at it. But honestly, the best result, practice on paper towels, man. They act like t-shirts, and you can get really good control, and you can practice your rat tails and your spirals and all that stuff. All right, just practice on anything. It doesn't have to be crazy. You learn to write your name, Brian. Okay, so, and if you're not good at freehand, you could, like I said, you could do this. You could just do erasing. We can come in now and just do some toning. Actually, I'm going to go with the darker color and start doing some detail. So look, core shadow, really simple, no freehand detail. Okay, radius that skull a little bit. And the core shadow here up on the skull. These are really simple. Keep it basic. Shadow under here. I haven't done any line work yet. I'm just doing shading and toning to start understanding the shape. Okay. Under here, the cheekbone. Okay. If you want, take a Mendez. Add a little texture to the skulls. Still haven't done any like super hard detail work yet. Just playing around with a little texture and blending. Okay. And look, that's kind of cool as it is. Yeah, Powers Academy. Here's a comment. Does anyone remember the pellet with the poison in the vessel and the pistols? Okay, no. Now you see, now you're just messing with me. Lettering, to practice lettering, you have to master the rat tail stroke. You have to be good at just doing the rat tail stroke, over and over and over and over and over till it's like done. Then you learn to do circles until they're done. You got to just master that. Then you can start writing. Okay. All right, so, and this is where, again, now if you don't have freehand skills, you can still get away with erasing. You want to do some highlighting to the skull. You can do that. It's from the court just with classical company. Yeah, guess I don't remember that one. And then once you get comfortable, then you start coming in and start doing your freehand. Start doing your shading. Start doing your teeth. Again, I'm keeping it relatively simple, relatively clean. Build in tone. Not trying to build too much, and I'm just using candies. Take your time. The great thing about this design is I can come in almost any time and finish this, and I can get all the rest of the colors done. As long as I don't pull that tape. Just start building core shadows everywhere. Work as much as you want with the darks. Little details, little details. See, just see this side of this side, just by working some extra shading. This one is the Takumi Micron. I have the Takumi Eclipse here as well, and then I have the Eclipse Custom going. And if you want to darken this up more, darken it up. So yeah, this is the Micron Takumi, and then they have the Takumi Eclipse. So Takumi has a shorter body. What time we got? Time check. 9 o'clock. Hour. There we go. Very true, sir. Very true. Do a little extra dark in here. I'm not going to spend too much time in here because I want to get the rest of it done. I can come back. Just want to give it basically any point where I could stop. And I can always go back in and add more. Or I could have just done one simple skull and then the rest just texture background. And what I want to do is I want to make sure I hit this tape really good right here. Make sure that skull is darker overall than these because they are in the foreground. And if I want to go darker, I can add a little bit of transparent black to it. I have mixed up just a couple drops. Oh, they've always hit 6. Oh, wow. So now I just put a little bit of black in, very little. Now I'm going to hit my darkest tones. Just push it back a little more. Oops. Just that little bit. 6'8", that's a tall boy. Yeah, I'm the smallest in my family. I'm just 6, maybe a hair over. But my brother's 6'4". Both my brothers are right around 6'4". So that's the dark. Just add a little black in it, getting it darker. Get it dark there. Just hitting some of the key elements. I want to spend like 5 more minutes on this tops, on this part. I'm going to move on. Where'd the center one go? There's always one I lose. I keep losing. Ah. We'll get him nice and dark. Push that way back. Just that. Again, minimal freehand. I'm going to hit this shadow really heavy. Cool. I'm going to wash over this. You know what would be really cool, now that we're thinking of it, how about a little bit of that green and we'll make it teal to the sides. It's so much brighter in person. Let's see if I can get some better light on it. Yeah. Is that? Yeah, that looks good. Let's go. Easy peasy. All right. So next area. Let's go right next to it. I'm going to take this blade. Actually, let's come to this side. Now I can see through. I'm cutting right in the middle of the tape. Pull that one out. I usually try not to go right next to each other. I move at least 1 or 2 away. That allows me to keep working. Go. You know what I'm going to do? Just to make it easier for me, I'm going to do all these cuts right now. Another one here. That way they're all cut and ready to pull, and we can work right through it. Sound like a plan? A little bit of pressure, not a lot. Okay. That's what I missed. When you clear it, all those... Yeah, the candies will pop like crazy. Her Japanese don't really... Yeah, no, they don't like them, but yeah, it's... They definitely frown on it. There's certain rules. A lot of some Middle Eastern countries too, you're not allowed to show them. I think in Dubai you can't show them at all. On some time. Mr. Pilos, have a great night. Good catching up. All right, so. One thing I noticed, I cut and I exposed a little bit here. Okay, here we go. Switch back. Alright, so I pulled these. I'm gonna focus this camera a little better. There we go. That should be a bit better. Yeah, there we go. All right, what color combo should we do in here? I have an idea for a fun texture I want to show you guys how to do. The peeling part is satisfying. Yep. Oh, you know what we'll do? I know what I want to do here. I'm going to keep this one really simple, but fun. I'm going to take just... Let's grab Pocket Graphics here. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. I just need a straight edge part. Yeah. Business card, anything. Just gonna do. I want to go straight. I'm gonna go straight green, I think. Mike's down, what's going on? So this is straight emerald green. Let's do this. I just want to do like a louver. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a stencil down. Actually, you know what? Let's do a tape so it's even. Yeah. So I can keep it even. Yeah, nah. I can keep it even. What we'll do, we'll use Mr. Trulers over here. I'm going to mark. Because Trulers are magnetic, we can go from inch. And every inch, I'm going to make a mark. So now you know these hoods are about 12 inches. One to there. So here, one, two. Nice, measure up. Yay, the bug, thank you, sir. Bing, bing, bing. bing, bing. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Can I request Pocket Graphics filigree? I will see if I can work that in somewhere. It won't work in here because the filigree needs kind of a bigger area. But I'll see if I can maybe do it in these sections. I'll double check. That might be kind of cool. I will give it a go. Okay, so green. All right, so all I'm going to do now is I'm just going to do a louvered step, but I'm going to keep it in the center. Okay, so we're going to go here. Did I see Artem in the house? Let's see. Did I miss him come in? Someone said hi. Chris said hi, Artem. And I don't see him in chat, but might be behind. Welcome, sir. Thanks for the hood. It's great. It's awesome. All right. Let's go here. We're gonna go here, and I'm just gonna pop straight. I'm gonna do a soft dagger stroke down. Let me switch to camera. This camera, so you can see better. There we go. And I'm gonna kind of stay in the middle. And I'm gonna go down. Then I'm gonna go up to the next one. But I'm not gonna go down as far. I'm gonna go to the next one. And just keeping it simple. Okay, see how it's stepping? Yeah, I probably should have done every other inch, but it's alright. I'm going to stop there. I'm not going to do that one. I'm going to do something different for that one. So this is the emerald green Createx 2.0 over the metallic silver that the panel came in. And now as I can, the steps stay the whole time. And now let's find something I like. Make it a mess. Oh, here we go. Nope. Looking for a very I know what I want to do. It'll just get darker. Okay. Love the filigree and the curves. Oh, cool. Yeah, I'll definitely try to get pocket graph. I'll try to see if I can work in that. All right. Okay, let's do what colors in my Takumi. That's too dark. You know what? I kind of wish. Let's darken that up with a little bit of the black. I'm just going to tone those. Yeah. We'll tone them. These bottom ones will get darker. They'll get soft on the top. But I'm just going to come to one side. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see, but you see how I louvered it? I did the shading to one side so they'll look a little more angular in their stepping. When I go into these, sometimes, unless that's like a planned client job, I just wing it and see what I like. I have done things before, I'm like, man, I wasn't too keen on. But that's part of the experimentation of doing this stuff, because you try stuff, You see what works. Let's put a little more. We're going to do some texture at the top, yeah, and then have it blend down just to look cool. Just something different. Yeah, and that's just little experimentations. The more you do these, you get a feel for how they're going to look. And I'm going to hit a heavy shadow. Because remember, when you pull the tape and you get all those white lines separating everything, it really starts to come together. And this could be a cool place for the eraser. Watch this. Now we're just going to... No, I don't want to do it there. I want to do those maybe here. I'll show you that in a sec. Oh, actually, we can do it here. Okay, so watch. I'm going to use that same color because it can integrate. Pull these two. Yeah, this is... I'm going to use the same green, but I'm going to come up to one side. I'm going to take the eraser. Just make it... Not loving on this color as much, but I can still pan out. Let's work it. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Tape this up. If you want to make these simpler, limit your palette down, and it'll be even simpler to kind of keep control over things. The more panels you give yourself, the more stuff you give yourself more room to hang yourself with, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm just going to close that up so I can change the color because I want to get a different color close to it. It's just not what I want. Yep, yeah, so that van one, where I did use the filigree on the vans, and the back of the package has a little tutorial on it. That is on the Iwata page, the Iwata YouTube page. Let's go here. Yeah, so if you look up Pocket Graphics on the Iwata YouTube channel, you'll find it. I'm going to do the dark blue, and I'm going to freak dot these. Remember what freak dots are? Freak dots are blowouts. You know the things you hate when they do this? But they look really cool if you do different size ones. Inside. Hold it, go slow. The cool thing about doing freak dots is you start to learn how to control them in your favor. And start to learn you can actually have a lot of fun with them. And it actually helps you down the road. And when you do start getting them, you know how to fix them and control them. Because you can mess with them. Just have fun with it. I'm going to tone right up. Drop shadow them in. That'll bring a little old school flavor to pattern work. The best thing about this is the more you do it, the more confusing the overall job starts to look. It actually looks really messy. Okay, see, by the way, no tape outs, no tape peeling, no paint peeling off from tape. So many people, I still see people complain about, especially water-based, oh, I use water-based and my paint peeled. Well, you probably didn't prep it right in most cases, or when you put your first pass down, you put it on too light, and you got what's called airborne loss of solvent, which means it dried in the air, and you put dry powder down, basically, and then you try to put wet paint on top of it, and that's what peels a lot. Yes, but you start doing them intentionally, you start not doing them unintentionally. So, all right, what we're gonna do, let's do, we're at 9:30. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to, I'll try. I think it's gonna be too busy if I do the filigree in here. I should mix up. I kind of want to do this. Let me see something. I should go back. I think we need a purple over here. So basically this. We need this color over here, right? Gotta work. All right, so let's back mask this again on this side. That way it keeps it clean. I'm just going to do 2 pieces of tape just to be on the safe side. Oh yeah, the bigger hoods, Artem sent me that image today. Those are going to be great. Like these are great for samples and demos and color studies and artwork, obviously. But those bigger ones are going to be nice to do in like an actual full painting on it. I am going to cover up this skull. Bend the tape around. Those little folds aren't a problem because they're on the opposite side. So you don't have to worry about a bleed. Just roll it through, There we go. Pocket Graphics filigree. Will it fit in here? Let's see. I love networking on here, Bill. Same, man. That's why I love doing this. And I started this channel a long time ago. Didn't focus on it too much for years. And then, obviously, when COVID happened, I focused on it a lot more because we couldn't teach the seminars around the country. So I started doing them here, basically. And that really worked out good, which is why I built this whole recording studio with all the camera switching and being able to do all this stuff. And it's worked out pretty well. It's going to be nicer when I get my full system back up to date, because this is still the stripped down version. Alright, purple. I'm going to do purple and magenta. Let's use the filigree and keep it really simple. I'm thinking we go like this. There's not enough there. I think we got enough on this one. So we'll go here. And what I do with this, I start to like drop shadow as I go through. I'll make sure I put the link to the hood's in the description. I didn't plan on using Pocket Graphics, so that's not in the description, but afterwards I'll go through. And I'll put links in the description for this stuff. And don't forget to go back and check out that video there. See, there we go there. And then what I'll do now is I'm going to rotate to this side, like this. And we'll have another floral coming off of it here. Just keep your drop shadows in mind, okay? Again, you don't need to have a lot of freehand going on. We can go back and we can just use a little bit now and just have it work its way up. A little too busy, but it'll work. It'll do. That'll do. Alright, so now we're going to take the same thing and flip it, and then I'll do some scratching and erasing inside. Same thing here. Keep your drop shadow in mind. And flip, flip. Try to keep it consistent. Like I said, it's just representative. And then I gotta figure out. Typically, what I do is I blah 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 blah. I'll usually go back and try to figure out. Yeah, then I can flip to here. Flip here. Flip here. Go this way. Go this way. Just kind of keep it simple. And then what you can do is you can freehand in here depending on your ability. Or you can tone like this, right? And then you can do some scratching or erasing. So you could do like the highlights with this. And you can do a lot of them if you want, or a little. Or you could take and you could do all the little leaves. See what I mean? Now you start getting a lot more going on. You start getting that engraver's look. If you guys that don't have a ton of freehand control yet, but you go with a brush, use a brush. Use the eraser. And then the more you do things like this, the more times you'll start adding freehand in with the airbrush, and you get better at it. But in the interim, use tool sets you're good at. If you're good at brushes, erasers, drawing, designing, use those tools to make your projects come together. And just kind of play around with it. I'm actually glad you guys suggested that, because now I'm going to make it dark. Actually, I was going to go magenta. I'm going to leave it this purple. This is that candy deep purple. Alright, let's see, because now we're getting to the point where I think we have enough pattern stuff going on. It might just be nice to have some clean color fades. So I'm going to pull this off. Oops, I got a little extra line there. Got a little aggressive. What am I going to do? We're going to make that work for us. Blend that back out, no problem. What did Bob Ross always say? There's no mistakes, just happy accidents. I'm going to try to live by that. If I don't live by that, I throw stuff against the wall. Okay, so cool. I can use that black to darken down here a little bit and just let it blend out. So now by doing that, see, you don't have to be worried about making it too dark here. It's looking a little dark on the camera, but when you clear this to get the sunlight and all that silver metallic comes through, this is going to really pop. But see how much different it looks when the light hits it? You can really see that well. But like I said, this worked out way better than I thought, because I was kind of figuring out how I was going to keep this on the stand. And those heavy neodymium magnets on the Visionaire work really, really good. And that is why you can get all, that's everything I'm using. Everything I'm using is here. This looks awesome, no doubt, bro. Let's see, let's go. Let's see if there's any questions. All right, Chris Garcia, Troll Surprise, come by. I go through so much rubber with the erasers. I'm going to put filigree. I'm going to put filigree in everything now. It's fun. Once you kind of get used to it, it's good. I have it set. I got to put it out. I got an entire download of filigrees and like filigree patterns and continuous brushes that you can use for vector cutting. I just haven't put it. I went through it. It's almost done, but I want to make sure it was refined before I put it out. And it was months ago, and I kind of put it aside. I got to get back on that. Hey, Ryan, thank you. In your world, everything can happen. Anything can happen. Happy mistakes, exactly. All right. Let's take this off. What I'm going to do now is this center. And I think it's time to just do nice simple fades. We can see everything we got going on because almost every panel is full except for this and this, and I think that should just be a really simple color blend. Or maybe I'll use the black because I want to stay, I like how clean that looks and frames everything. So I think I'm going to take the weak black right now. I probably should have mixed up a candy black, but I don't really have time to do it on the feed right now because everything's, oops. Oops, that's underneath. Yeah, see, I like how it's simple and clean like that. I'm not going to overthink it. This is where I'm going to take this, the black, or actually this candy bluish black that I got here. And this is where you got to practice your freehand skills. Because I'm going to drop shadow every piece of tape right now. And keep it really simple and clean. And then in here, I'll figure something out to do in there. So what? I'm just going to take this and I'm going to hit it. And I'm just staying on the tape. It's going to be real subtle. Come on, just blend the edge nice and soft like that. Because you want to make sure all your fine line tape gets something. So this is still like a dark cobalt blue candy. I'm going to put the transparent black in a sec. Like I said, everything doesn't have to have artwork in it. The biggest thing about automotive graphics, and the biggest mistake a lot of people make, is they don't spend enough time on the layout and prep to make sure their lines are clean and their tape's down. Then they fight delams and scratching. And the other thing they miss is brush control. Like, just add it slow. Keep your blends and your transitions nice and smooth. And it's going to go a long way for you. If those just joined, and don't forget, I've already got the full layout video up online. I uploaded that a couple hours before this feed. So you can see that. Something's got to go here, but I don't think so. Maybe just a little. You know what I'll do? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to send this hood back down to Artem at SprayGunner as a thank you for sending it for this feed. And I'll do a vinyl cut, and I'll put the SprayGunner logo, ghosted, like chiseled look in here. That's what I'll do with this. But I don't have that ready now. But maybe I'll put the full octopus stencil here, vector it and get it done. I think that'll be cool. Yeah, I could do the Fade and Scope, but I think I'm going to send this to SprayGunner. I think it'll be cool. They can hang it up or do whatever with it. As a thank you for this feed. And I'll throw the logo in there. I think that'll be cool. Alright, are we ready for, and I love this line, it's a YouTube channel I watch called Squidmar, and I love the way him and Emil and his partner, I forget his name off the top of my head, they call it the grand reveal. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna grab, this is the best part about doing this work, is right now it looks kind of cool, but it also looks a little messy. You're not quite sure if you like it. And so let's see what happens. Let's see if you like it. Now this is where you got to take your time. That's why I love plastic razor blades. Oh, that's an old one. Let's get a new. Oh! That was a real razor blade. It stuck me. These plastic razor blades. These are scrape right blades. I'm sure SprayGunner might carry either of those or a different type. Plastic blades are great because you can get under without really scratching your paint. And just watch how clean this starts to come together. Look how nice that looks. It just creates such a new lift. That perfect pin line. And from different angles you can see. Zoom in a little bit more there. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to take this one off. Now what you can do, depending the order you pull, you can drop shadow all these lines so they have like a shadow to them. Or you can just go back through in the end, which is probably what I'm going to do. Get nice clean lines everywhere. See how much cleaner that looks? It is like Christmas. Nice. Color. There's a couple of pieces. Probably needed a little bit more on that edge, but the nice thing about tape is you can always put a new piece of tape and darken it back up. Really easy. So I didn't get enough right here. Not enough delineation. 16th inch back on. Do-do-do-do-do. Done. The other thing you can do too to keep it less confusing, limit your color palette to just all one tone, like all blues or all greens or all purples with like maybe one other. Like you did all purples with one blue or all greens with one like gold, yellow. You can keep it really simple. But yeah, I wish I could show you this cleared, and I will when it's done. But it'll look really awesome. And sometimes what I do with this on my first round of clear, sometimes I'll put a little bit of, what am I trying to say? I'll put a little ice pearl, or I'll put a little other like a metal jewel or something like that, a fine pearl over the whole thing to give it an extra set of sparkle. But that's where it's really going to come into play. A couple of things I want to address and fix, but like I said, you can go in. If I had my better camera system, I could go in and really show you. I could go in and just, I'll do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to go like this, just hit the round, and just watch what a little bit of drop shadow right here does. A little bit of shadow just gives it a little extra lift compared to the other side. Or use a pocket graphics like this and just hit it. Easy peasy. Little things like that go a long way. There we go. Yeah, it worked out really good. And don't forget, you got the feed ahead of this that shows the whole process of it being done. All the layout, tape out, prep, how to get it all prepped. I'm going to clear this, polish it. I'll do a little logo treatment there. And maybe add some extra tweaks to it and have some fun with it, and we'll see how it looks. Overall, I think that was a fun feed. I enjoyed doing it. Enjoyed the process. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, share, all that stuff. And go watch the other video of the layout. If you got any questions, post comments, things like that. It was a long day, a lot of video. So I think today we got 3 hours of content up online after 4 hours of editing, and I think 2 hours of filming the day before. So a lot of work went into this to make it happen. So I hope you all liked it. Hope you learned a lot. Post some questions. Let me know what you guys need. And we'll figure out next week's feed. Maybe we'll do a t-shirt night coming up. That could happen. Could be a fun thing to set up a t-shirt rig in here. limited color palette and just do some t-shirt stuff. Well, might do that. Maybe some lettering, basic drills, stuff like that. Yeah, we'll get it figured out. Thanks for popping in.